I promise you tonight will be worth the wait. We are live in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, and tonight is a night to celebrate this man. This man who's one of the greatest, if not the greatest, promo wrestling artist there has been. And no, you won't see Zach Clark come on here to congratulate this man. Kill shot, well, maybe not. A guy named Gunshot, well, I'll save that for other guys in other places. But we will celebrate, and we will certainly get your opinions. But most importantly, let this man talk. And this man talk about his legendary career in the promo wrestling world. And it seems like what he said in his last promo in CPF as the CPF champion, right before CPF Mania, is it is an end of an era. Because you think about guys like Devin Adams, and boy, he'll have a few things to say about him. You think about guys like Jerry Mayne. I mean, Draquan's trying to fight it. He's joined this blacklist, but I know this guy's probably not going to have much to say about that, or maybe not. But it does seem like an end of an era here in promo wrestling. But tonight, it's this man's moment. And it is now time for me to give this man that introduction he most certainly deserves. And we should have gave this man that introduction many more times, but I'll do my best to make it worth it. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's start this show off here in style on Sportzwire Radio, the number one global radio station where all music and all wrestling matters. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one global sports show. I promise you, he'll throw a perfect game here tonight, just like he's done, not just in the bowling alley, but also as the greatest promo wrestling artist of all time. He's no longer banished. He's no longer exiled because he's back on Sportswire Radio as he's simply the greatest promo wrestling artist of all time. AJ Storm! My friend, how are we doing?
How do you have the lung capacity for all of that?
So I'll tell you actually a little insight on that. Now, you may or may not have seen, I do these interviews now in the rock world. And in the rock world, I don't get a chance to do those intros. So I don't do them as much as I may have did, let's say, 2 years ago. I'm still doing them. Like when Anthony was on, Anthony got it, because it's, Anthony. He had to make sure he had that intro. But when I do the rock interviews, like I just had Drowning Pool, I just had Nonpoint on, and I have actually, I said it last time, I have on ex-Motley Crue frontman John Corabi on Tuesday. I don't get a chance to do those in the rock world because the rock fans are like, listen, we just want to hear you talk to the artist, and it's their moment. So when guys like yourself come on, that's where I can, dust off the cobwebs and do the long intro.
Fair enough.
Well, obviously, it's great to have you, and I'm going to definitely celebrate your career. I'm sure there'll be some colleagues of yours. We'll open it up to them eventually if they'd like to come on. But AJ Storm, you've said it in your most recent promos. It's an end of an era. And for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you and the many promo wrestling companies that you have represented run, and have held championship golden. It's your time now to shine, and your time to give, well, your farewell speech is an end of an era.
I've been saying for many a years, there's no such thing as retirement because there's always something that brings you back. And I truly believe that. Well, here's the problem. I've been saying it for so long, and now I'm making my stage left exit. I would be a hypocrite if I came back. And honestly, it's just my time to go. The promo game is doing just fine without me. And as I said it in my farewell speech, video, whatever you want to consider it as, my name shouldn't be mentioned, nor here nor there. Um, not as a proving point, not as a I should just cease to exist. And that to me is okay. I've done my damage over the last several years. I've run my course the last several years. It's time for the new guys to pick up right where I left off.
It's simple as that. It's simple as just that my time has come and it's time to move on.
Yep, that's it. That's all there is to it. I've had fun. Oh, don't get me wrong. I've had a lot of fun.
I know you have. I mean, listen, you are a guy that so many people have talked about, even with you being here a handful of times on Sportswire over the past 2 years, and so many people have talked about your name, and that's simple as that. Just time to move on, and you won't miss it.
No, don't get me wrong. I will miss it. And a part of me will always appreciate it, the fact that I'm going to miss it. But I noticed specifically in my last couple of matches what I was doing. They just weren't as high quality. They just weren't as well thought. They weren't. I wasn't putting my heart into it. I was just kind of.
Well, I mean, we talked about you, obviously, famously. We had the back and forth with you and Comatose, Dario Divine. That seems to be, most where we recently have seen you last on Sportswire. I mean, we've seen you on here in the past with Anthony Steele. That's another name that, did have a few words to say about you leaving on Thursday's show. He had mentioned, he said, yep, I heard about it. And he basically kind of said, in Anthony's way, it's time. And Anthony, we know, famously cut his teeth in the promo wrestling world, and he's moved on. So I guess I have to ask you, these other guys have been talked about as moving on in the promo wrestling world, like Devin Adams, who said last year and then kind of reversed course for now. And then there's Jerry Main, who Dario Divine is basically intent on putting him for good out. And, Draquan has come on here and said, listen, he's joined the blacklist and he's seen what's going on, and that's not going to happen to him. So, what do you think about these other guys that may or may not retire? Should they just join you also and let it be an end of an era?
Well, specifically for Devin. See, I love Devin to death, but he's a hypocrite.
Me too. I love having Devin on Sportswire.
He keeps just pushing back that date and not pulling the trigger because somewhere in his mind, I guess he needs this. And it's no shade at Devin whatsoever. Devin, you see this. I know you're gonna see this. It's nothing personal, dog. It's never been personal. But if you say you're gonna do something, and I've had commitment issues in the past, it's just time to do it. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything anymore. I'm not promoting. I've already cashed in and filed my retirement. I'm enjoying retirement. But
as you should for the time that you've put in, the companies that you've represented. I mean, listen, you've earned that right with the amount of time that you've put in. What a lot of the guys do in promo wrestling, I say it all the time, the amount of effort that you put into these promos, listen, it's your right to now move on and not do it. I mean, listen.
I can finally cancel my subscriptions to all my editing apps.
CapCut no more, huh?
Well, I never really paid for CapCut. except
Okay.
for the lightning eyeballs, which you'll see on my page
Yeah,
eventually.
I gotta be honest. I do my videos when I announce you guys. I mean, I sometimes like will sit there, but I just wing it. I just go out there, and I know some people have to do it a certain way. Now with StreamYard, I do pay the $90+ a month. I do pay for that to
Oh
cut the
yeah.
videos, but it's not yet. So I don't know if anybody realizes this. So if you want to have up to 10 seats, and then you want to have a library content added to with all those features, it's like $93 a month. They just jacked the price up, but you wouldn't feel bad for me. But yeah, it's $93 a month. But I do pay for a couple of other things, but you won't miss that part. But I mean, listen, Devin's an interesting name that you bring up because Devin was on here on Sportswire a couple of weeks ago, and he famously announced on here, I think it was about 7 months ago, about 7 or 8 months ago, that he was going to go on a farewell tour and he was going to win all these championships. But now it seems like that date has been pushed even further, and I don't even know what to say on it.
The thing about retirement tours or retirement runs or end of the lines, whatever, it's not a given set date. The thing is, when it's time to go, it's time to go. And Devin's been knocking on that "it's time to go" door for a very long time. Now,
Yeah.
when I noticed it was my time to go, it was the match right after my ambulance match with Comatose.
Right. That was the match we were talking about here when you last came on. And we had the whole big TPW day. Everybody was here. Yes, that was quite a back and forth we had. Yep, about a little less than 2 months ago now.
Right. So after that match, I sat down and I had a conversation with myself, and I was like, okay, I'm just going through a little rough road here, rough terrain. I'll pick the ball back up where I left off. That turned into a United States Championship match at TPW. I was gunning after AJ Harrison,
Yeah.
and
Well, he himself now wants to take out Devin Adams permanently.
well, let me tell you what, that AJ Harrison's a fake American. He is more Canadian than anything else. He had no right. He had no right to that United States Championship, and he ran away from me. And there's literally nobody that can disprove that now because I'm permanently on the bench.
And
You
listen,
know,
and Devin Adams did not seem at all impressed with AJ Harrison either.
no, look, AJ Harrison is a little. You're either an AJ Harrison guy or you're not. I'm somewhere in between. He has good content. He has bad content, and it just kind of meh. I'm not saying that he's meh, but once you get used to cutting a certain type of style, and you approach that low hanging fruit of a line that myself like Comatose, myself Steel, um, DTG, Messiah, a couple other individuals got really good at. It's real hard for most people to come here to here
Well,
to here to
yeah,
here.
well, I think you, Comatose, and Anthony, just because I know you guys so well, I think you guys have something that you bring outside of promo wrestling is your natural personalities. I think sometimes guys have that natural personality that it exaggerates in your promos. Yourself, obviously, Comatose, Anthony certainly is examples that I've seen, and I could see your personalities just shine through them. That's why you guys have been so successful. And listen, AJ Harrison, you've had your back and forth with him, and it's
I came out
what
on
it was.
top because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I was the U.S. champion without him even being there. But
And,
I
and
want
listen, Elliot Creed beat him last week. That was a big conversation we had on last week's show.
look, man. I'm an Elliot Creed guy. I have always been an Elliot Creed guy. Elliot is the guy,
It was
and
great to have him on. We got a chance to finally have him on here, and we gave him his moment. And I think a lot of people were really happy to see him on it. And I was very happy to have him on.
Elliot, if he puts his heart and soul into it, like I know he can, there's no way that he doesn't check all the boxes. There's no way that he doesn't win a world title or holds it for a long time. Eddie is the guy.
He's
And
going
I've
for it. Yeah, we
always,
talked about that here on the show. He's going for some world title gold. That was a topic that we had brought up here, certainly.
he is. I have definitely been a big critic on Elliot, but it's all for the betterment of himself. I want to go back, and you mentioned uh, Draquan in the blacklist.
Yes, Draquan the blacklist. Yes, a big topic in the last few weeks on Sportswire. Yes.
Here's my take of it, and you can call this a hot take if you'd like.
No, no, no. You're AJ
I'm
Storm.
just a I'm just a spectator now. If my name is Dario Divine, if my name is Comatose, and if my name is Dre, I'd be careful. I'd be very careful. And the reason I say I'd be very careful is because I've heard the same old speech and song of it's all equality. Well, here's the difference. When you're the lowest pole on that totem pole, when you're the lowest notch in the belt, you have to claim equality. You have to claim that it is us or nobody. If one of us goes to war, we all have to go to war because I guarantee it. I'm calling it now. The first person to turn on the blacklist is going to be Harris. He's talking like a snake. He's using those kind of words.
That's what Eli Bowman, the man that you were in the ring with last, he said that from the very beginning. He was the guy that said, listen, don't go for this. He said, listen, Dario Divine, you're falling for this. He was disappointed him in most. Eli was very vocal about that in the chat, that AJ Harrison, the Don of Combat, was basically pulling the strings with these guys, and Divine and Comatose. I mean, you have quite a memorable history with of late, and even Draquan, the veteran Draquan.
Well, here's the flip side of that. I think Draquan being in the blacklist is a very good move for a bunch of different reasons. Dre is a veteran. He knows what he's doing, and he knows that any good young talent pool like the blacklist, it needs to have that one old dog that's still in the fight that knows how to get through treacherous waters. That's Draquan. And me personally, I love Dre.
Me too. I've had him on a few times. I like Draquan.
Dre
We've had him on two or
Dre
three times.
Dre is. I have known Dre for a very, very
5 years, right? Almost 5 years.
yeah. I've known Dre a long time, and it just started in like 2024, 2025 when we officially started like clashing heads and going against each other. But that man brings something special. He focuses more on stories and putting his words in use to more ways than just attacking. Granted, he does, but it's different. He puts it in a sense of rhythm and rhyme. The bad thing about that is when you go against somebody like me, who in the promo game tears people down to a molecular level, if I'm really trying, I know that rhythm and I know that rhyme. And Comatose, love him to death. He's gonna be his future is forever bright. Um, I did it. I told him that I was gonna do something to make him uh, uncomfortable. I told him that if you bite this old dog that is calling you out, that you are going to be surprised. And what happened? I pulled an ambulance out of thin air.
That listen that and that was I was very excited about that. And I watched your back and forth with him, and that was one of the better promo work that I've seen in a while. I mean I've been obviously following it. We get a lot of the guys on, but I was really excited about that. That's where I was like, I got to get you back on there. We got to talk about this, and it was great to have you on there, and great to talk about that. But again, interesting that you say things that Elliot Creed had talked about here on Sportswire about the blacklist. And AJ Harrison seems like he's taken two guys in Comatose and Dario Divine, who certainly we knew them as thinking more or less for themselves, personalities, kind of like yourself, but yet they're in this group, they're aligned, and I don't know. I mean, I guess AJ Harrison for now has pulled together this group, and we'll see how far it goes.
It's not Harrison's. If look, if I was still competing, if I was still promoting, look, I would be an absolute thorn in the blacklist side. and there's nothing they can do about it.
Well, Adams wasn't impressed with them. Creed wasn't impressed with them. And listen, some people, I guess, think A.J. Harrison's the weak link.
He most certainly is. He cannot keep up pound for pound verbatim for words with Dario and Comatose. Dario beat me.
Yeah, he seemed like he was going back and forth with Steele on here, and Steele. You don't want to do that with Steele.
No. When everybody gave up on Anthony Steele, I pulled him closer.
You did.
Anthony Steele is one of those guys that has it.
No, we know. I'm aware. And he's back on next Friday, by the way. He's back on once again.
If there was somebody that, if I could go and meet a certain order in real life, Steele would be number one on my list. Steele has been number one on my list for a long time.
Yeah.
Just because he's a good dude.
No, he is. I'm with you. I always felt in the 3+ years I've known him, what he can do in the mic and what he can do in the ring. Certainly, he sets himself apart from a lot of other people. Once you get to know him, deep down, he does have that it factor. He does have that ability. So I'm glad that we're on the same page. So I guess then I got to ask you this question. I know people want to talk to you in the chat. I'm going to get to them. Don't worry. And plus, I want to give you something here in a few minutes. But are you going to follow any of this stuff that's just shutting down? You're taking all the apps you said, so you're going to still follow it?
Well, yeah, I'm still going to run my promo award show at the end of the year. That's not going anywhere because I made a commitment to myself year one of doing that.
You can always add me as a collaborator on both my Instagram pages, and we'll be happy to do something with that at the end of the year. So you're more than welcome to, when the time comes with that, to come back on here and talk about that. It'd be my pleasure.
And it's in my honest opinion, it's my ultimate way of giving back. Me and Chase Sullivan, Chance Sullivan, we started Instagram promoing a long time ago.
I know.
A long time ago. And as somebody who sees so many people continuously promoting on Instagram, the least I can do. And I know Chance is a very controversial figure, or there was things surrounding that.
Yeah, it's tough.
I'm unaware. I was not along all that, but at the end of the day, it's at least my way of giving back.
No. Listen, and you know what? Obviously, look, those are things that, here nor there. It's about celebrating what you've done. It's about celebrating just your legacy and everything you've done, which is why I would like to share my screen right now, because I'm very excited to do this here before I get to the chat and everybody else out there. So let me do that, because it's your night. It's your moment. And for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, Sportzwire Radio, you are once again in the Hall of Fame, but this time as the greatest promo wrestling artist. Congratulations. You are once again in the Sportzwire Radio Hall of Fame, but we're adding a little extra to it, and this will be yours when we're off the air, and I'll give you that physical copy. And I wanted to celebrate and make this night that much more special by putting you in the Hall of Fame once again, but now as the greatest promo wrestling artist.
I appreciate it. I will always appreciate it. Now, do I believe truly that I am the greatest? I do not. I know my shirt says it, and I know it says AJ Storm at the bottom of it, but there are far more dedicated and verbally skilled than myself. But it's a gimmick, right? We played the game. So in game wise, fuck y'all.
Well, it's fun. Listen, it's fun. Let me get to some people here in the chat who do want to say hello. Torrance Banks was here earlier. Thank you, Torrance Banks. Torrance Banks, who knows some of the guys like Devin Adams and Killshot. Thank you, Dilla, for being here. Want to say hello to Hillbilly Tilly. I want to say hello to my friend Jacob Bard. How you doing? Nice to see you.
I think me and Hillbilly Tilly would be good friends.
You would, yes. Hillbilly Tilly's a good man. He's been on here. Unfortunately, his Wi-Fi is never too good, which is kind of why he hasn't been on here as much as he should be. But he's always been, a good man and a good supporter. J-Rod would be here for you. I wanted to say hello.
Hey, buddy.
Thank you for that. And also, obviously, got to shout out our friends in OPW. Yes, hello, Hunter.
Funny story Funny
Yes.
story about that. Funny story about that. I, and this is what all got me back into promoing specifically. One day I was on my personal Instagram and I seen a very good friend of mine, Titus, and a
Yeah.
very good friend of mine, J-Rod. And there was this chubby fucker. I'm going to say it exactly how I said it then. There was a chubby fucker, a third one. I had no idea who he was, but I was, after talking a little bit, I was like, hey, it was Hunter. Um, y'all still promoing? Said, yeah, Titus owns his own promo league. And that's what got me back. I cut my first promo back, I think, a day after I turned 21 or 22. Yeah, I can't remember. I'm old.
You're not as old as James Taylor. I keep telling people you're still not as old as James Taylor.
Yeah, well, when James Taylor has the gall to promo me 1v1, well, oh, wait, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen.
Well,
I
he
draw
has.
more.
Well, I
I
guess
draw
he
more
retired
views.
for that too. So you both,
I
maybe
draw more views.
we could do an AI version, maybe like an AI promo battle between you two. No, no, right?
No, no, God, Tom, no, no.
I was kidding. Please, let's not get let's hope not. We don't do AI in promoing. It's we
I
don't.
can't stand AI promos. It's
Yeah.
just so shit.
Well, I mean,
That's something that Zach Clark would use.
we'll obviously move on here because Mr. Storm definitely would like to hear more comments. Yes, hello, hello. And there is
Uh-oh.
AJ Harrison who said, "What do we have here?" And there most certainly is such a thing as retirement and promoing. Yeah, listen, you know what? You're proving it. Welcome to the retirement club. Speaking of people that are here, say his name and he appears. There is Dario Divine. Yeah, he's here.
He has a bright future too.
Yes,
If
we
he
love having
keeps
Dario on. Dario's become a
look,
favorite.
y'all need to keep an eye on Harrison. If y'all keep an eye on Harrison and you're on your P's and Q's, if the boat starts to sink, fucking jump. Don't let it drag you down. Especially you, Comatose. You know better. You know a lot better.
Well, listen, that they have been involved in this plan for months together, Harrison and Comatose. I mean, that's what it seems. Let me get to some more comments. AJ Storm, you can't retire until you have at least one match against me. Now you never beat me for the United Nations Championship. So come on, AJ, don't go out a coward and give us all one more match.
No, not gonna happen. And last time I checked, you were the one that ran, not me. And I beat your boy Devin Adams for the U.S. title.
And
So
and yeah. And now Harrison wants to end his career, and now even says he wants to go to his stomping grounds. I mean, we'll have to
I'll tell
find.
you what, if Harrison can fight Devin Adams 1-on-1 with Comatose and Loverboy and Dre just chilling, if Devin is very, very willing, he puts his mind to it, he'd eat him alive any day of the week. Now look, AJ Harrison, I'm sorry to tell you, but you upgraded from a coward to my personal punching bag, and that's what's happened.
So I don't know if I'm implying something here, but are you putting Harrison in that same category as a Clark and a gunshot?
No,
Okay,
he's
good.
better than a Clark, but he's just
Okay. Listen, that's your opinion, obviously, your opinion, and it feels good to be out of promoing. I firmly endorse. Elliot Creed was very impressive on it. He was very impressive here last week. I have to say, you will be seeing more Elliot Creed on Sportswire. Very
J
impressive.
Rod's J Rod's my day oneer. He is
Yes.
a day oneer for me. I always
Oh,
love J
J-Rod.
Rod. J Rod's awesome.
No, you guys are all great. We love everybody that comes on here. Oh, yeah. And also, you ran into retirement because you're scared to face me. I commend you for being smart and retiring before I got my hands on you. So stay retired and save yourself. You've obviously addressed that. Speaking of people that are here, Elliot Creed, isn't that funny? I've been thinking the same thing. And also, he appreciates J Rod. AJ Harrison would never turn his back on his family. And also, shout out to the king of smoke, Draquan. Zilla, we don't associate with the like of Elliot Creed. You don't need to speak to him. Well, he's here in the chat.
Now
AJ, you
listen.
still salty.
Now listen. Who's still salty?
AJ Harrison, because he lost to Elliot Creed. Because now we know also that we saw, Texas Red now show up to EPW to team alongside Elliot Creed against the Blacklist. So that was another thing, too, that caught everybody by surprise last week.
It's look, Harrison, step you gotta step your game up, dog. If Elliot wants it, bro, he'll also eat you alive. See, these guys who you're trying to prey on are only operating at about 52%. Only 52. I cannot hear you.
Now you
There you
can.
are.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, go ahead.
But Harrison, you're stepping on toes you don't want to. Hence why you ran from me, right? By picking a fight with somebody so irrelevant. I forgot his name.
Oh, well, we'll move on. AJ, as much as me and you haven't seen eye to eye much, I want to personally thank you for everything you taught me, sir. You had a great career, and I appreciate everything you did, sir, which is why we wanted to give you that, and we want to honor you for everything that you've done
Of course,
in
Eddie.
promo
Of
wrestling. We
course, Eddie.
appreciate you very much. AJ, you're tough talk because you're retired, so please do us a favor. Humble me, humble me, humble me, star.
Already did. Already did. I have the TPW United States Championship mounted on my wall. Not the
And
United Nations.
for all
Zilla,
the
I
years
am.
of back packaging DTG, yeah, no, Jill will talk. She will talk. She can talk. It's okay.
Listen, Zilla, I am fully endorsing you. Put a verbal beat down. Do it. Look, DTG did not do any packaging, and DTG carried me through a lot. DTG is by far one of my favorites, and that doesn't ever affect anything. But when I was having my lowest, DTG'd send me his stuff, and man, it fired me up. So there's no backpacking there. There was never any backpacking. The DTG carried my big ass more times than I should admit, but he did, and that was close to the end. That was, I mean, we went out. I went out tag team champions. We were OPW's last tag team champions. Hell, we had all three. We had the triad, the tag team championships at once. I never did that with Steel. The only dope thing with me and Steel, love you again, we were undefeated. We never lost as a tag team. And that's because we were forced to stop being a tag team.
We talked
Because
about this. Yeah, I think this came up before once on here. It came up on here
we were
once.
forced to stop because nobody could touch us. DTG is everything that he says he is. He is a Scottish nightmare. I've gone up against him. I've tagged with him. We've shared the road. I will never get drunk with that man ever again. Took me under the table, tenfold. It's just no. So no, there's no backpacking. As much as I
Well,
respect the comment, there's never any backpacking.
we'll get to some more comments. Also, look at this pathetic excuse of retirement, Dario. AJ Storm taking the coward's way out because he wants to save his career. He knows he could never live with himself if he had lost to me. Some strong words there for AJ Harrison.
I lost to Dario Divine and Comatose. I'm just fine. I didn't lose any sleep over it. I got my get back on Comatose. I'm not worried about Dario because Dario has a bright future. The difference is, real difference is you have an ego you would think is bigger than mine, and it's not. It's not. That's all it is, and that's okay. That's okay. I want you to feel big bad, but remember, Dario is smart. Comatose is smart. All it takes is a little slip of the mask. They're smart. I saw it in Jerry. They'll see it in you too. That's the way it is.
So I'm gonna ask you though, real quick on that before I get to the chat. Jerry Main, that's been a big topic on here. Dario has said what he wants to do to Jerry Main. What do you think happens there?
Be interesting. Be very, very interesting to see what happens there. I've only had a handful of interactions with Jerry Main.
Yeah, I met Jerry Main once randomly in the street. It was kind of funny. One day, I'll make you chuckle. One day, I'm in the middle of New York City, Union Square, as a matter of fact, and I get a tap on my shoulder, and I look up. It's Jerry Main. He goes, "Look, I know you." and it's me, Jerry Main, blah 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 blah, and then we took a photo together. And then I'm like, all right, well maybe we'll hang out more, and it never happened. And that's my one Jerry Main story.
So when I was going live with results and things back when under 1,000 followers, whatever, Jerry Main just randomly popped his head in, stood there, struck a pose, said 3 words, and then dipped. I was flabbergasted. I still am.
That's kind of how what it was like when I met him in real life. It was like he was there and then he left. That's it. I'm like, hey, where do you work? I was like, where do you work? I'm in the area pretty often. I said one of my friends lives a few blocks away. And then he was like, he told me sort of where he worked, but not quite exactly where. And I never seen him since. That was a year and a half ago.
Well, it's a privacy thing, and I can understand. If any of you folks find your way down to Virginia and we're cool, I'll meet up.
That's a good point. You know what? That is a good point. I will get to some more comments. What's up, AJ Storm? It's Michael Miner. There you go. Thank you very
Oh
much for
God,
being here.
I beat him for my very first title ever in promo.
And I will look at your message right now. I do want to apologize. I have a fractured hand, so I haven't been able to look at every message. But I will look at that message in a minute. I will get to the rest of the chat, so I'll do that in a minute. Also, I think you need Rocky to release me to save your career. Let's tell the truth. I didn't run from anyone. While I look up that message.
You did. You did. You very well did because when I called you out for it, specifically you, and you told me I needed to earn a shot, remember, I was still, I probably still hold the record for undefeated streak. I was still running rampant through everybody else. I'd beaten Comatose. I'd beaten somebody else. Called you out. I called you out. I tried to give you a chance to shine. And what did you do? He didn't release you to save you. He released you because you were stupid. And stupidity does not equal being safe or being scary. See, when I got fired, it was to save the locker room from me. When I got the banished legend, the cancer, was to save people from me. Nobody is afraid of you. I have a long laundry list of people that say they don't like promoing against me because I am utterly unpredictable. Ask Comatose. He'll tell you.
And I read the message, so we'll take care of that. AJ Storm, it was an honor to face you for a while, and hope you have an amazing retirement. Yours truly, Scars.
Appreciate you. Always have.
And we do have a lot more comments, so the chat's heating up. AJ Harrison, let AJ Storm have his night. Leave the man alone. He deserves this. Stop trying to interfere into everything. And some people do feel that way, I guess. That's why I do want to remind people of this.
Elliot's lighting your ass up, Harrison. Damn, son, you're getting fucked up in the chat.
Well, we have a lot more comments to get to. Johnny Velocity, who will be a topic on Monday's show, the ROH champion.
I'm unfamiliar, but hello.
Yes, want to say evening. Just want to say hello. Also, too bad he abandoned you and you lost to the new greatest tag team of all time twice.
Hey, if that's the case, I'm all for it. If you guys are the new version of me and Anthony Steele or me and DTG, and you actually want to commit and put the time and effort for it, I'm here for it. I am a blacklist guy with the exception of Harrison. Heed my warning. I was right about it once. I'll be right about it 1,000 more times. I have been around longer than anybody on Instagram. I know.
And thank you,
Zilla.
Yes. And also, Creed, mind your business, or I'll make sure you're in a handicap match every week in EPW. Obviously, nepotism could be a reign supreme there. Comatose and Dario are very smart, and that's why they both left Jerry and joined me. And also, thank you, J-Rod, for reminding us, rest in peace, Chuck Norris. Yes.
Chuck Norris, listen, Chuck Norris did not die. Stop the false publicity. God just wanted to meet him and have his autograph. Okay? There's that. It is it.
You know what shocked me about that? I didn't realize he was 86. I didn't realize the shape he was in. I did not realize.
He roundhouse kicked the Grim Reaper's head straight off. Became the new Grim Reaper. Okay? He did not die. He just elevated the game. He took higher responsibilities.
I wouldn't, you know what? That wouldn't surprise me. Chuck Norris is one of those guys like Elvis that they'll be around somehow. They're not going anywhere. I
Elvis
kind of,
was Elvis was Elvis was Elvis.
yeah. Well, Chuck Norris, listen, I mean, guy fought
The
Bruce Lee.
goat.
I mean,
The
he's
goat.
yeah, absolutely. Listen, I always loved Chuck Norris. AJ Harrison, cause of you, of course, you use your power because that's all you have. You complete POS. I'm sick of you. And no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Listen, I have a fractured hand, but I'll be. But I responded to his message, and we're going to see some of these guys on in a couple of weeks. So we took care of that. Thank you for letting me know about that message. By the way, I appreciate.
Eddie's doing my light work.
Well, listen, the people are here. They've spoken. They've obviously spoken. Yes, congratulations to AJ Storm. That's all I'll say. And AJ, I appreciate everything you've done for me. You taught me how to be the promo artist that I've become.
Hunter, you have been a good student of mine. You have struggled immensely, and to see that you can drop a dime and switch up is the greatest um, compliment. I don't need the praises. I don't need the championships. I don't ever need anything. But when I try to help somebody, I give it my 100%, and just seeing them do good, that's what makes me feel good. I don't need the credit for their careers or whatever. I'm not trying to take any. You did the work yourself. I just guided you to the light. Keep on doing what you're doing, Hunter. You'll be fine.
Listen, and he's another guy doing a lot of great things also, and he knows Johnny Velocity a little bit. Yes, and rest in peace, Chuck Norris. And those are facts, sir. He has been called to a higher level. Yeah.
Right.
No,
So he didn't die. He just elevated.
yeah, no, Chuck Norris is definitely. I always loved the Delta Force movies, Walker, Texas Ranger, and no, I always loved.
I grew up on Walker, Texas Ranger.
Oh, listen,
That's when I knew I wanted to be a badass.
listen. I got to be honest. Hulk Hogan was on Walker, Texas Ranger. He actually guest starred on a Walker, Texas Ranger episode.
I'm gonna
Once
have to
upon
go
a time.
back and I think I'm gonna have to go back and look at that.
It was actually right toward when the show was ending. So if you miss it, like the episode, I think it's where like he's helping out kids at a school or something. He's kind of like he was a guy that's trying to change. I think if I
See
recall
Sergeant
correct,
Dookie.
yeah, it was. So it's right before the show ended. So
Dookie.
it's right before it ended, and then there was Nia Pebbles was also one of the female leads who was an unbelievable was a R&B singer, then changed over. He was a former gangster. Yeah, there you go. That's it. Thank you, Elliot. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. He was trying to rehabilitate his life, and
Okay, so
Elliot.
we're current on comments now. Okay,
We're
cool.
current on comments, and now apparently, since we've gotten all of that out of the way, there is someone that does want to come on here and have a conversation with you. I know you've retired, you've done enough. It's not Anthony. Anthony can't make it. He's wrestling tonight. Anthony, he's wrestling.
It's either that or it's.
Well, he'll be on next Friday. If you want, I can bring you up. But he did say it's time to go, and he was actually complimentary in a small way. Anthony has become more humble though lately on Sportswire.
We don't see me and Anthony. It doesn't matter. Me and Anthony,
Right.
we go
He's become more humble these days. He's become the fans like him. They're cheering for him.
You better watch when you say that. Anthony.
No, I know we said it on here. We've actually said it on here when he's here. That's the funny thing. And then, like when we say it, all of a sudden, like all of his enemies come on here, and then it turns into a usual Anthony episode. I've got one more comment before I do share my screen. AJ Storm, I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to get my match against you, and in the process, I'm going to make you something that you've never been your whole life, and that's a man.
Dog, I got bigger hairs on my nuts than you do on your forehead.
Okay, I'm going to get to that person here. So let me share my screen, because for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, it's Dario Divine. The lover boy himself is here. And
boy, I am happy to see you and not Harrison. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Well, I had to come in here and pay my respects to such a wonderful career.
Such a wonderful old career. Thanks for making me feel old, Dario.
I said a wonderful career, but if you heard old, I think that is just your old age getting to you at this point.
It is. Just a bit. Just a bit.
But hey, we will keep these tag team titles nice and warm for you guys. We've held them since you guys dropped them to us.
Not for you guys. I'm done. Homie,
I don't
I
know.
am done.
I think when the time comes, we're gonna have to settle this greatest tag team of all time debate.
Sorry. It's going to have to be without me. I'm done.
That's what DTG gets. He did it to you first, and I mean, I guess it's what he
DTG,
deserves.
DTG knows the right people.
He tried to do the right thing, and that's what cost you guys these titles anyway. And I feel bad for it because he did. He tried to do the right thing, but
It's all right. It's okay. We do, but contrary to popular belief, we do move as a unit and not a co-exhibitation or inhabitation, whatever you want to call it. I don't know the word for it. I'm not smart enough to know the word for it. But we do move as a unit. We drop those titles for a very specific reason. For a very specific reason, and that's all I'm going to go into it. And you can decide whether that was in or out of character.
It doesn't matter now. At this point, your career is over, so it doesn't really matter if it's in or out of character.
Which is, it still feels kind of surreal to me because I'm still expecting my name to be dropped on a card. I'm still expecting.
Oh, you know your name's going to be brought up because of what you've done. You may not want it to be brought up, but it's going to be. And especially now that you're still going to be doing the awards this year, I am sure there's going to be a lot of politics. And we'll cover the awards toward the end of the year when that happens. We'll be happy to do that. And I'm sure that you'll be on to talk about it. And there'll be plenty of guys here and plenty of guys that'll watch the replay of this that will drop your name, especially toward the end of that award season.
And that's all right. I can ask for my name never to be mentioned again. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. I'm a public figure, I guess you can say.
Public menace.
Yes. There's going to be a lot of people that drag my name through the mud, and that's fine. But now there are people, and I'm looking specifically at Dario, because I know Dario will relay a message. There are people that I don't have to worry about because I now have people that are going to take care of it for me without me even knowing about it. Because that's how it is now. You talk about my name, put some respect on it. Disrespect it. Either way, you say my name, somebody's going to come a knocking. And more than likely, they're not going to appreciate it. So the best thing I can say is let me be and don't poke a bear. You don't want to come back. Harrison, I'm not coming back. Do not make me a hypocrite. Because if I have to turn myself into a hypocrite, to God smack you into another universe, I'm pretty sure Comatose and or Loverboy aren't going to want you around. I'm pretty sure they're going to be happy.
What did you think about Dario? This conversation that was, I would say, a big topic here about you and Comatose and AJ Harrison. What did you think about Mr. Storm and his thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, he understands that we did the right thing. He knows that the correct decision was made. And listen, if you understand that far, then you know that we got eyes in the back of our head. We're always taking a look in the rearview mirror. We know what's going on. This whole turn, this whole move, this was planned time and time ahead. So if we have to play the part again and protect ourselves like we did this time, we will. But like I said, there's a reason I sat here and said we want to call ourselves the new greatest tag team of all time. And to be quite frank, it's because of the respect you guys beat into us time and time again. And with that, like I said, we want to hold on to these titles, and we want to make that name.
That gave me chills and shit. Damn you, Dario.
Wow.
Appreciate it. I do. And
You are retired. If you got chills from that, AJ, you usually wouldn't have done that in character.
Oh no, I would have lit up like a firework.
Pretty much.
But I'm leaving in a good spot. I didn't lose my last match. I walked out as a world champion. I walked out as a tag team champion. I walked out of a company, the last tag team champions, which Dario and Comatose were in. Sorry, I guess I got the last laugh.
Well, you know what?
It's OPW.
You know what? We have some more people that want to come on and obviously say hello to you. And and I want to give them that opportunity. If you'd like, Mr. Storm.
100%. But the last thing I want to say to you specifically, Dario, keep your head in the game. Keep your head on a swivel. Keep your head still. Keep your head strong. Because I'm telling you, from experience, the moment that Harrison sees a crack, the moment that Harrison sees an opportunity, he's going to take it. And it's not going to work out. I'm calling it. He's going to try something. It's going to blow up. And I don't want to say I told you so. I'm too old for this shit.
Well, I do want to share my screen and introduce the next person that wants to come on. And I have two for the price of one at the same time, which is very rare. So let me do that. You're two for the price of one. And no, it's not Zach Clark. It's not Gunshot. It's not Kill Shot even. So
I don't want to be in the same. I don't want to.
No, I promise it's going to be good. I promise you it's going to be good. So let me.
I think I have an idea.
Is it Hunter and Titus? That's the only thing that I can think of.
That's what I thought of too.
Well, close but no cigar, but close but sort of. You got two for the price of one.
This is also a good, acceptable second guess.
There you go.
Yo.
What's going on, J-Rod? Hey, Hunter.
Hi. I can officially say, AJ, you are now considered prehistoric.
I know, I'm a crusty, dusty dinosaur. Don't have to rub it in.
It's been a minute since I've been on here, Tom.
And we're very happy to have you on, and well deserved, and can't wait for in a couple of weeks when we talk about what you guys have going on Twitch.
So this is kind of ironic for me. J-Rod was in my past, like the beginning. Hunter was in my past, as in the last 3 or so years. And wait, Dario's in my present, as of active. 3 different people, 3 different eras of my career. I really feel old.
3 different decades of promo wrestling. Crazy, isn't it?
It's like the opening of WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
That is great. I love that.
So AJ, don't think that you can run from me because you know I'm gonna be calling you when I need to ask you a question.
Don't get it confused. I will always be around.
Well, I know that.
He still asks me questions, bro. What do you mean?
Listen, we all know his favorite crayon is the brown one. Because I don't know why, but that's okay. I will always be around. You can always ask a question. And if I'm breaking the fourth wall here, and if he gets upset at me, I genuinely don't care. Harrison asked me, and this is out of character, to give him feedback on 2 of his promos. And I did. Oh, well. I tried to. Sorry, Harrison. I got busy. My bad. But you can always ask. It might take me a little bit to respond. I'll always be a judge. One of the cruelest in the game, if I may.
But you did say once famously on here that it's not that you're being cruel, it's that you're trying to give honest feedback. That's what 100%. You did say famously once on here. I want to point that out.
Well, whether you want to see it as cruel or brutally honest, either way, I'm doing it for the betterment of somebody. Ask Elliot Creed. That man has gotten it the worst.
And he's here he paid his respect to you, so obviously it's helped him, and he just defeated AJ Harrison.
Sorry, Dario. I just like to see a good old-fashioned ass woman.
Great to see you guys here, J-Rod and Hunter, and I mean, anything you want to say in particular to Mr. Storm?
You're prehistoric now. Go back to your Museum of Natural History.
Well, do you guys think for sure he's done? Do you think maybe...
No.
So, no, you think he'll come back?
This is what I want to know. Here's the thing I want to know. When it comes to retirement, are you going to be another Devin Adams or are you going to be another J-Rod?
You know me. You have known me for too damn long to know that I'm going to answer. How
are you going to be another Devin Adams or another J-Rod?
That's a good point J-Rod made because Devin's been this topic. Devin came on here about 7 months ago, and he said, this is it for me. I want to win a couple more titles. And then all of a sudden he came back on like a month or two later and said, you know what? Why should I why should I give it up? And here we are. Who knows? Devin Adams may be here until he's thrown out, I guess.
Tom, I
answer
think
to
that's
my
exactly the
question-
problem. Because you said he's waiting on winning a couple more titles before he retires. So I think that's exactly the issue. I think we're still waiting on those couple more titles.
Well,
Thanks, Dario.
It was my titles.
Appreciate it, Dario. That's a polite way of saying what I was gonna say, but we'll go with that.
Even on the road to AJ's match with Devin Adams for that United States Championship, once AJ Harrison was removed from our company of TPW, Devin Adams was waiting one night and was saying, Rocky, I got to hear if I went over or not. And I said, Devin, listen, stop pushing for a result where you're just going to hear you lost. And what happened? I mean, he did. He lost. And it was the writing on the wall. We all knew AJ Storm was going to win. And when I say that, it's funny I do say that because a lot of the locker room was convinced that it was Devin Adams' match to win. But really, that was Devin Adams' match to lose. And quite frankly, he did.
So maybe are you saying that Adams is waiting for the moment? That moment may come, who knows, a year from now, 18 months from now? I don't know.
With me being gone, it should be a lot easier. However, there's that new talent that I was talking about, so it's going to be a lot harder. And
Well, look, that's a good point you made because, think about this. Dario Divine's not even in the game a year. Comatose only started promoing, I think, at that
about a year.
Yeah, about a year and change. So you think about it, who's going to come along next? I mean, if look at what Dario's done, Comatose you brought up had maybe 6 or 7 months on Dario before Dario came in. But if Devin is waiting for that moment, there's going to be other guys that come in and may surpass from what you're saying.
The time to shine is now, Devin. Better get to it. Or you ain't never going to do it. J-Rod.
Yes.
You asked me if I wanted to be the next Devin Adams or the next J-Rod. Now, why do that when I can be the one and only AJ Storm? I said I'm gone. I'm putting my foot down.
I mean, when I said I was gone, how many times have you heard of people trying to get me to come back?
That's true, but nobody besides Harrison right now, and Hunter, apparently, the chubby-faced bastard, is attempting to pull me from my word. And at the end of the day, my word means more to me than, let's see, where's my TPW United States title? I got
there it is! There it is!
Oh, Harrison. Oh, you almost got it, buddy. Almost. Keep in mind, I chose to vacate my U.S. title before making my grand left stage exit from TPW. So
you didn't want to be the last real champion.
Oh, I did that with CPF's world title.
Oh, okay.
In a 3-on-1, by the way. In a 3-on-1.
So,
and
the tag team
into a 1-on-1,
and the tag team titles too. I trust that Dre will carry the weight well. But no, it's I'm not coming back. You will never see my name on a match card ever again. Ain't happening. Can't pay me to do it. Even if you paid me to do it, ain't gonna do it.
Now, would this also? I gotta ask. Would this include other forms of promo wrestling? This is it for everything.
I am making my stage left there too. So this is it for Instagram.
Devin had famously said, one reason I asked because, Devin had said, well, Instagram, I'm going to be done. But, maybe other things I can find a way still.
So I am going to try to stay with someone on Discord for as long as I can, right? This is a retirement from Instagram. I'm being honest with it. I'm being truthful with it. And I'm being straight with it. My time on Facebook is coming to an end as well. I'm not afraid to mention it. I'm not afraid to admit it. I've lost a step. Hell, I might have even lost 2. It is what it is. When I became a father, I disappeared for 2 years. Hold on, ask that one. I think I'm pointing to J Rod. Ask
Yeah.
J Rod.
You were. No, you were. You were.
I disappeared for 2 years. And then when that did not plan out, unfortunate that it didn't, it's just my time to go. My time to shine has been long over. I'm like
AJ
corroded
Harrison
copper.
said he would like to come on, but he is coming from a certain destination, so he will not be here. But he'll be on soon to talk about whatever he intended to do tonight. But I guess I like to ask you, AJ, is there maybe any final words that you have as now this is coming to an end and you've sworn this is it? So I believe you because I could see it in your eyes. Whereas Devin, I think I've got the point about Devin. And I saw Devin on here a few weeks ago. But is there anything that you may want to say to anybody out there, whether it's the locker rooms you've been in or the artists that you've competed against or anybody else out there, your peers, that maybe you want to say some final thoughts to?
First, is there anybody else in the guest box, or
I had sent a link to Comatose, but I don't think he'll be here. I did send a link to Comatose.
that's all right.
I didn't want to send it to Zach Clark because I really thought that would be a bad idea.
Well, I'd end up trying to promo against him, and that would make me
Right, and we didn't want that. I mean, kill shots, a maybe, but I was like, I said, nah. The people, I think these two guys meant a lot to you. AJ had messaged that he is going from somewhere, so he'll probably not be here. Comatose, I did send the link to. If there's anybody in the chat, I did reach out to Elliot Creed, but he cannot make it, but didn't want to send him.
I understand, and everybody that's watched commented, even the 3 gentlemen, other gentlemen besides yourself and myself, mean a lot to me. This community means a lot to me. It always has, and it always will. It's something I started in a very dark point in my life, and that escalated into 6 years of promoing on something other than Facebook. And at the one point in time, Facebook was the place to be, and then it turned to TikTok, and then TikTok and turned into Discord, and that was the place to be. And well, I was young and dumb, made bad decisions, so I made Instagram my home. And everybody on the locker room, I appreciate you, regardless if you hate me, regardless if we're my best friend, regardless of anything. I appreciate you for a lot of things. This gave me a voice to find my voice when I was voiceless. It gave me a chance to have fun in more ways than one. It gave me an opportunity to share a passion, a wrestling hobby that I love because of the simple fact that we all are boils down to wrestlers or wrestling fans. It's all that this boils down to. And for those that cannot, like myself, perform in a wrestling role or aspect, this is the second best thing.
Hey, listen, you know what? And look what Rocky's done. Rocky's actually now out there and he's gone from this to he's managing and training. So you guys, I always say it, are an important part. Look at what Hunter's been doing. Hunter's been doing some refereeing. I mean, I've seen him out there. I mean, so listen, you guys are a very important part of the wrestling world. And, the effort that you guys put in the time, listen, not everybody could do it. And you guys have all done, a hell of a job in your career, AJ. That's why I think it was right to have you on tonight and give people an opportunity in yourself to share some, words about your career and just the appreciation that the people have for it.
And ultimately, I am grateful. I'm grateful for the world titles. I'm grateful for being fired so many times. Thanks, Hunter. I am grateful for the fact that and Brocky and Brandon several times. I'm grateful for the fact that I can come on camera, on screen, and be a character that I normally can't be outside of this. And it's taken a good part of my life, and I don't regret it. I don't want to say that I don't regret anything, because there are some things that I very much do. And there are things that I learned from and things that I've done that I would very highly encourage folks not to do. And one of those things is when when somebody when somebody is in the wrong, and no matter how wrong they may be, when somebody is in the wrong for whatever reason, make sure that you pay attention to why they're wrong. Make sure to pay attention to what's going on, because you can be the friend, sure, and but if they're in the wrong and you know they're in the wrong and you still decide to keep them around, that makes you in the wrong. That makes you a problem. And that's what I did when I was younger, when I was 18, 19, 17. I did that. And I have no skeletons in my closet anymore. Everybody knows what I've done. Everybody knows.
And that's why when we first met each other, I did not like him.
And that's fine. I deserved it 100%. But this place is supposed to be a place of unity and community.
Hey,
And
we
with
ain't
so
making
much,
friends. We're building a family, brother.
and that's my favorite time, undoubtedly, is not the world titles. It's not the tag titles. It's not the United States titles. It's not anything. It's when the family came to Instagram and quite literally turned storytelling upside down. That was great. And I firmly believe in my heart, in my soul, nobody will ever be able to replicate that. Nobody will ever be able to replicate the match that me and Comatose had, the ambulance match. Nobody will ever be able to do something. So the fact that I can leave my name on something other than what I helped build as a long term memory, as a hobby, is amazing. And like your Zach Clarks, your kill shots, your Yondirs, your Jaheels, whatever you want it to be, I enjoyed every match. Granted, some of them sucked, some of them were bad, some of them were dumpster fires, but the individuals that picked me up when I was down, other than Anthony Steele, other than J Rod, other than Titus, other than Hunter, other than a couple other individuals that kept me going at my lowest point, if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't have seen me back. Because Hunter and Titus, specifically Titus, oh boy, Titus made sure that I came back. J Rod helped. Hunter didn't know me. Hunter's first interaction was when I called "Welcome to the Fat Boy Club, Fat Boy," and I got fired. Came back, got fired again. Came back. Hadn't left since until retirement.
The
I
only company
appreciate
the only company that you've never been fired from was RPW.
and IGPW, but even now, I'm
I'm
shutting
not
them
counting
doors.
IGPW. You own IGPW, dumbass.
At one point in time, I did not. One point in time,
What you
it was
do?
just
You were never mind. Never mind.
Well, I think what J Rod was trying to say is that he didn't fire you. Basically, what J
I
Rod's
know.
trying to say is he didn't fire you.
J-Rod never did fire me. In fact, he encouraged me to do a lot worse than what I did.
Well,
I
because
did.
he talked about family and he was with you, and that's
You,
that's why he wanted to be here.
you bled green for a long time.
Sure did. Still do. But everybody in the
He's
locker
a
room that I've
character
shared
for the game.
to everybody I've shared in the locker room, the simple thing to say, the easiest thing to say is thank you. But I'm never a man of easy. I've never been a man of ease. I've
You know
always been a
what?
man of.
What I'm about to do, I'm not even going to say nothing to you right now.
I already know.
Oh man.
But everybody, I sincerely appreciate it. Not specifically, that's the wrong word. I really appreciate the new talent. Your Comatoses, your Jerry Mayans, your Darios, hell, even your AJ Harrison, because somebody has to be a pain in the ass. Harrison, you're choosing the wrong guy to be a pain in the ass. The worst you can think you can manage, I've done a lot worse. Ask anybody that knows me. I appreciate the fact that there's individuals that are coming across a board or a bridge that wasn't always built that are coming and showing their talents. Together, we're a community, or should be a community. And I don't deserve all the praise. I mean, I appreciate it, certainly. But I'm just a man who did what he thought was best to do for the majority, excluding a couple of years, of his promoing career. Now I know that this is in good hands. I don't have to worry about it. You already have another AJ Storm. It's comatose. Everybody knows it's comatose. That man can run his fucking mouth until he is blue in the face.
I'm aware. I'm aware. I've seen
Well,
it.
I am not worried, and I'm not comparing myself to comatose by any means. But if there's somebody that's going to keep people on their toes for the rest of this promoing prowess, as long as it stays promoing, comatose is going to be on top. And that's not me singling him out. That's not me doing anything. He's new to the game. You have vets like DTG, like Messiah, who have come across a pond, who know what they're doing, who know how they're doing, and they're showing what they can do to a far broader uh,
Audience.
audience. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the hobby. I'm simply Mike, who ran out of time for the hobby. I don't have enough time. And for that, I apologize.
No, you don't have. Listen, you've given your life to this for a number of years, and you're always welcome anytime. And I know during the promo award show, you'll be back on for that. But no, listen, you don't have to say sorry or anything. You've done your time, and you've certainly made quite an impact. And there's plenty of people out there that certainly will always appreciate you through all the thick and thin. And these guys wanted to be here. These guys
Oh, well,
wanted.
you got that right. You know, Zach Clark doesn't have to face me anymore. Killshot doesn't have to face me anymore. I'm sorry, Hunter. I love you, but I mean it. Hunter doesn't have to face me anymore. That man has never fucking beat me in singles competition.
I wouldn't beat you either. I mean, listen, I've watched a lot of your promos the last 2 years. And I've seen you on here. I mean, listen, I mean, you take a lot of guys' lunch.
It is an absolute honor just to be able to promo and have fun. Like Dario, he's new. He got Rookie of the Year. He's got a bright future. I have no words. So me finally exiting, somebody should have seen it coming. Because at one point I said I was never gonna leave. Well, good friends of mine saw the fact that I was no longer around long enough for a cup of coffee and a handshake, and was like, "Look, you're going downhill. It's probably time for you to hang it up." And they were right. They were right. There's nothing I need to worry about now, except if Titus is going to show up or not. But that's besides the point.
Well, I can try to get him a link before we go on.
Oh no, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
You sure? Okay.
Titus.
Oh, I thought you was talking about in promo, and I'm sorry.
That's what I was talking about.
I can send him a link before we sign off. I can do that. I can.
I was
Certainly...
I was talking about promoing.
I
As long as you have fun, this is the place to be. Not on Instagram. I'm talking about the promoing community. As long as you like talking a lot, telling stories to the best of your ability, you can go to Discord, where it's a lot easier to tell a story, where there's a lot more people that you can interact with. I don't hold anything back anymore. I don't. If you want to go for the editing, you can go to Instagram, where things can be like this, even though this is the wrong way of promoing. Your phone needs to be sideways. But that's how I learned. It's personal opinion. You can throw all your edits together, but the storytelling is at Discord. I know it is. I've always known it is. But me being from originally Discord, I have the knowledge to tell amazing stories. Visually, like with the ambulance, I'm not talking about verbal stories. It just makes things easier.
We'll see if he shows up in the remaining minutes. But before we do sign off, is there anybody else that wants to have a few more words with AJ before we get ready to close the show tonight?
Well, let me just finish off with saying that AJ went out like another AJ and wanted to go out while still phenomenal. So I commend you for that. Because there are other veterans in the game that I believe it was Draymond Green said it. They're Paul Pierce trying to get the Kobe Bryant treatment. And I feel like we got a couple of those still sitting around. Maybe one has been
Devin.
mentioned tonight a lot.
Devin.
But tonight's about you. And again, I wanted to come in here and give you your flowers for everything you've done and for pushing me to where I am in my career.
You did it yourself. That's the thing that I can. That is the thing that I can 100 say without any uncertainty. If I pushed your buttons, I pushed your buttons. That's all I ever did. You found the work. You found the work ethic. You found whatever it was in your heart, your soul, your passion, and you did the work. All I did was go,
It's what you do
oh,
best.
oh, of course. There will be, I'm fairly certain there will be no other. The second closest being Anthony Steele or DDG. There will be nobody else that is, well, no, because there's a gentleman who I will not name who was the best at pushing buttons, and that's kind of where I learned pushing buttons from. But I appreciate that gentleman so much because he has smacked me around verbally a couple of times when I've gone down the mountain. But as for Instagram promoing pertains, he was here, he was there, he was on a mission, he left. He came, he went, he left. And he destroyed everything in his path. If you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. I'm not afraid to mention his name, but out of respect for him, I'm not going to. But there will not be anybody else who pushes buttons as good as the three other gentlemen that I briefly mentioned. There just won't be. And
No,
I
listen,
appreciate everybody
you definitely
except for
left
Zach
it.
Clark.
You definitely left a mark and an impact. And would anybody else like to say a thought or two before we sign off?
AJ.
That's my name. It was my name.
Well, for the
Okay.
stream, it still is.
So when you first saw me coming into promoing and you made that fat joke and I fired you, brought you back, and then fired you again, I wanted to kill you.
That's not uncommon.
But the way that you and J Rod and Titus taught me how to do things on Instagram, you were the main source of information and guidance that kind of helped me.
Do you still have that notebook?
Oh, I look at that almost every week.
What you guys don't know is I made this monster take notes in a
I took
notebook.
notes in a black college ruled notebook of everything that he told me, and it sits on my dresser. I look at it occasionally when I need to, because if I don't do it, then I will not live up to the expectations that AJ wants me to live up to. But it's not about expectations that he wants me to live up to. It's him trying to get me to be the best me that I can be.
Well, damn. I don't think I could have physically or mentally had the capacity to say that in any better way.
So, AJ, I have a proposal for you.
Oh, God. I'm scared. What you got?
AJ, will you be a special guest judge for all of the OPW pay-per-views for the rest of 2026?
Yeah,
Whoa!
I'll be a judge. I'm not opposed to judging because judging takes the least amount of time because I know what I'm looking for. If you check your boxes, you check the boxes. If you don't, you're gonna hear about it.
Well, yes. I want to give you that one thing left in OPW, and that is to judge some matches. Because you've done it all. You've won the world title. multiple times. Tag team champion. You even brought in a championship that quite literally was named Talk Yo Shit as a live championship.
The Global Tokyo Shit Championship. I stole the global title off of
So
Darius.
I feel like
And paid
I owe
for
the
it.
respects of you to judge matches.
Of course, I'll judge matches. And that goes out to a certain EPW gentleman that is watching very closely as well. If you ever need, if you ever need a judge, feel free to ask. I'll do
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
Just, just be prepared for brutal honesty, because that's all I got left.
Oh, 100%.
You like,
Harrison.
you like to say anything, J Rod, before we get ready to sign off?
Yeah, I was
If
just wanting to.
if it's a nursing home joke, I'm gonna throat punch you.
Hey, buddy, if you're in the nursing home, I've been in that son of a gun, dude. Cause I've been. What do you mean? Nah, but no, I definitely wanted to be here, man. Cause I just wanted to. I want to take this moment just to share with you, man. Just we've had our ups and downs, man, throughout this ride. I love you, bro. We've had me and you. We've had a lot of conversations, like just one on one, man. A lot of deep stuff that I will not get into on here because it'll probably make everybody here cry. But man, I love you, bro. I love you.
I love you too. And if there's one thing that I can say,
I'm glad that I'm glad you finally are awake.
shut up.
Well, you know what? I was going to end the show, but I do have one more person that we're going to end with here. I have one more person that wants to come on and has decided that they have something to say. And I hope I'm not going to regret this, but I'm going to share my screen before I sign off. And
Got it.
it's AJ Harrison.
I thought it was gonna be
What's
Anthony.
up, AJ Storm? How you
I
doing,
thought it.
buddy?
I thought for 150%. I thought you said it. I thought it was gonna be fucking Anthony.
He's wrestling tonight. He's in the ring. This is not
Yeah, but Anthony has a funny way of fucking popping up.
He
Well,
does.
but AJ Harrison's popped up.
He's like a leech.
Yeah, see, the thing about that is, thankfully, I was able to get back from my travels. I had to pay a visit to some people and things like that, but everybody will be able to catch more on that in the next day or so when it airs. AJ
Gotcha.
Storm, although you have done great things for this promo community and it goes very much appreciated. However, I don't think I don't think you're quite done with your career just yet. I think that you still got one more, and regardless of how it plays out, whether we can always make accommodations for you. But I think that this right here is not settled because we both know that one, you never beat me. So therefore, to say that you have ever been TPW United Nations champion, number one, is a fallacy. It is a false statement because you had to beat the champion in order to claim yourself as champion, and you have never beaten the champion because I have never lost that championship. So
You're right.
therefore, so
You're right.
therefore,
Hold
you
on.
owe
You're
me
right.
a match.
You're right.
Yeah.
I was never the United Nations Championship. I was
Okay.
never
So
the United Nations champion. I was the United States champion.
so then
And here's the deal. Here's the deal. I gave you a chance. I gave you the ball. You ran away. Dario, I ask a personal favor. Better get your boy. You better reel him back in. Because I'm a spoonful that doesn't fit.
CAG Storm, that's your problem. You do a lot of shit talking for somebody who took his ball and went home. And the reason you went home is because you've seen my recent work, you've seen what I have put out. And that's why you did the smart thing. You did what a lot of these old timers refused to do. You took your ball, you went home. I commend you for that. However, just because you're intelligent doesn't necessarily make you a man. It still makes you a coward. And yes, because technically it didn't start out as the United Nations Championship. When I won that title, it was still the United States Championship. It doesn't change the fact I won that championship. I never lost that championship. You never beat me for it. So therefore, at the end of the day, you can retire in peace. I will grant you that. However, I hope that during your retirement, you get to sleep at night knowing that I am the one that was I am the one that you just could never bring yourself to come and face me.
So when I called you out, right? You told me I had to earn it, so I earned it. And
You
then
never
you
earned it.
got scared.
What,
You
what,
got
what number
scared.
one contenders match did you ever face?
See, me beating Comatose earned me that because it was either streak or career. You don't just come back from a career versus streak match and not get anything in return.
Let's see.
Once
Last
you're in
time
the
I checked,
business,
was
once you're in
your
the business long
Mhm.
enough, you'll learn.
Okay? Now,
Okay?
now I'm
So
gonna
with you,
let me ask this to everybody because I'm pretty sure that usually when you're in a company, when you are contending yourself for a championship, I'm pretty sure that when you're making yourself a contender, you have to earn yourself a championship opportunity. And when that happens, you have to be in a number one contenders match. Last time I checked, when you faced Comatose in that ambulance match, that was not by any means a number one contenders match. When I read the card, when everybody else read the card, it did not say TPW United States or United Nations Championship contenders match. It did not say nothing like that. It said ambulance match.
so
Nothing
when
was ever
when
brought to the champion's attention. Nothing was ever granted. So therefore, it was a match between you and Comatose.
when you draw enough star power, not that you have any kind of regulation, or not that you'll ever get to a point where you have enough star power, other than sucking on the tits of Comatose and Dario. Sorry, Dario, I just have to say that. Um, when you draw enough star power, there are deals that are made. There are deals that are not public. And guess what? I made mine public when I called you out, and I was going to go against Devin for the number one contendership, but somebody had to go and get fired because they were afraid to face me, and you constantly dodged me. Now, luckily for you, and I say this very sternly, I'm retired. So you'll never have that opportunity to say that you've beaten me. But I
Well,
did take your title.
I'll tell you what, AJ Harrison. Obviously, you made a strong case, but I think this night is AJ Storm has made it clear that his promo wrestling career is over. He will do some judging in OPW. He did even leave the door open in EPW. If you'd like him to, maybe he would do that. He will have the promo wrestling awards that we'll talk about at the end of the year on Sportswire, but his
Tom,
career has come to an end. Yes, AJ.
Tom, here's the thing I would like to, if I may,
Yes.
my ending comments, because I know you like to end the show with ending comments. Here's my ending
Yes.
comments.
Ending comments.
You know that I always speak the truth, and everything I say is very much truthful. I'm a man that can always admit that my faults and my everything I say is very much truthful, right? So, with that being said, everybody walking this earth, regardless of who you are, the type of man you are, type of woman, if you are a human being, you are a hypocrite. I happen to be one that can admit when I'm a hypocrite. If I put myself in a situation where I just so happen to be a hypocrite, I will admit to being a hypocrite. However, I feel that AJ Storm, who admitted earlier, left the door to make himself to be a hypocrite. And I'm pretty sure that if I poke, he'll make himself a hypocrite. And
Well,
I'm easy. I can do that. So we'll see. We'll see.
Well, we'll see. AJ, you
You
got
can
the last
try.
word tonight. AJ, I'm letting you say the final, whatever you want, and that's it. There's nobody else that gets a rebuttal. The floor is yours when it comes to Mr. Harrison.
Harrison, once you have more facial hair than me, then you can talk your shit. Other than that, the funny thing is, I said, you'll never see me compete again. You'll never see me on a match card. This holds true. I'm not putting myself in a predicament where I will become a hypocrite for any man, for any woman, for anybody. Why try to be like everybody else when I'm the one, the only me? This is something that you'll never be. This is something you'll never get a taste of. Especially since now I have made it very clear that Comatose and Dario need to be keep an eye on me. That's okay. This is the last it. This is the last hurrah. This is the last parade. Now, when it comes to everybody else, thank you. Sincerely.
And that's it. That's a wrap. And AJ Storm has closed the chapter on his in-ring promo career. And that is why we wanted to celebrate him. We want to thank everybody that's on here, including AJ Harrison, who certainly made his own case, but his career has come to an end. We celebrate AJ Storm, and we did reach out to a few other people that we did not hear from, and maybe they'll give their thoughts on this when they come on next week. And Anthony Steele, we did reach out to him, and Anthony obviously is in the ring, or just completed his day in the ring, but we will certainly reach out. We'll see some of these guys back on here. Everybody will be back on here, and they'll get their story. Also, AJ Storm will still be judging in some companies, and we'll have the Promo Wrestling Award, so please check out that detail when the time comes. And we want to thank all of you fellas, and we'll be back on here tomorrow. Yes.
The last person I want to thank very specifically is you, DTG, for keeping me grounded, and bringing me back from a situation where I was losing myself.
Thank you, DTG. Yes, DTG, obviously your tag team partner where you won one of your final belts, obviously, and we want to thank him as well, and we want to thank everybody that's tuned in here and joined in the chat. My name is the Reverend Tom Bright. We're joined here by AJ Harrison somewhere. J-Rod, we'll see some coverage with some of his guys coming up from the Twitch side very soon. Hunter and OPW, and can I say EWA? Can I say it? Yeah, I'm going to say
Not
it.
yet.
Hubie, well, you know what? Hubie's not listening, so I'm going to say it. And Dario Divine, the lover boy, and AJ Storm, who obviously for now is AJ Storm, but you may know him in other names later. But have a great night, everybody. I'll be here with Jackson Hawk at some point tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And until then, please support all these great promo companies that these artists are a part of and wrestlers. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one global radio station that is Sportzwire Radio, where all music and all wrestling matters. Thanks and congratulations, AJ Storm, on an amazing career. And we'll see you back on here soon. Have a great night.